Yes. Good evening. Assalamualaikum. Hello to everyone. Eshe. Uh, my name is Amor Maklang. I am one of the many incredible leaders who will be speaking today about their projects, women-led projects in the global digital majority. Um, I'm very happy, and I want to give a special shout out to a woman leader who, more than a year ago, I met her in South Africa during the handover of the. It was the first time I heard about the concept of the global majority. So it's not about geography, it's about us working together amongst each other. We comprise 82% of the world's population, and our agendas align with each other. So adding the global digital majority to it, more than a year ago, we formed IDEA. And now we are 92 countries strong, different digital economy leaders from South America to Africa, Central Asia, ASEAN, Africa. A special shout out to you because that's our most active region. We have Europe, who's technically mostly global, North, as they say, but many of those countries are here with a heart for the global majority. So special shout out to you. You will hear from her later. Her name is Miss Victoria Panova. And special shout out to our honorary females tonight, to Oliver, and of course, Dr. Alexander Titov, who is tonight port around the world that need bilateral connectivity. It could be between Indonesia, maybe, and Spain. With regards to, sure, later we will be hearing from our friends from Luxembourg because they have a Women Leaders in FinTech program. On this note, I would just like to thank everyone for their support, and I am very, very on to one of our leaders, not just in IDEA, but in the global digital majority, our brother, Mr. Nair. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Amor. Thank you for a wonderful introduction and welcome, ladies. It is really a privilege to have each one of you here. And I am probably in the global majority of ladies. I am the minority man, but I would love to, understand from each one of you. It is a great learning and a privilege for me to be with all of you and try to see how we can steer this conversation. I would not like to speak much myself because I think it is the day for you, ladies. First of all, wish you all a very, very, very happy Women's Day. You have been a real great inspiration for each of the societies where you have been working in, and it is such a privilege that you have all joined together to come together into this digital majority and take this world to better levels of inclusion, equality, and also trying to see how you can play your leadership role. So, welcome each one of you to this wonderful conclave or a digital carnival of women in the digital majority sector. So, my name is Babu Nair, and I would like to start off this entire conversation and bring the ideas of each one of these ladies. So, who are a part of digital majority and idea. So, friends, we will start off with a very quick introduction, just a 1 minute introduction of every speaker, and then we will put on to the questions that you are going to answer. And from there, we will understand from you what kind of support you would need from the digital majority and idea team as well. So, welcome to one and all, and let us start off with this conversation. So, I would like to initially start off the first conversation with Victoria Panova. Victoria has been the director and professor at Oriental Institutes in the Far Eastern and Federal University of Russia. And she has been a global leader. She is a Sherpa. She has been a Sherpa as well in the world, in the G20. And welcome, Victoria. And she is one of the leaders who has really been the founding members of IDEA. Victoria, welcome to this conversation. Please introduce yourself. I think, okay. So I think Victoria has not yet been has not yet joined the session. So maybe just take the privilege to introduce Ms. Yetunde Omeda, Director of Office of Community and Civic Engagement at Farmingdale State College in US and Africa. Yetunde?
Hi, how's everyone? How's everything? I know we're all in different time zones. I'm also a professor of global affairs and politics, and I work a lot in partnerships in focusing on building innovative ecosystems using the knowledge economy, which is institutions of education, really to drive the digital economy and technology. My university focuses on technology. We are a STEM-focused institution. This Saturday, we're actually holding our Women and Girls in STEM conference, where we'll be focusing on AI. So I look forward to hearing from everyone and building new friends and partnerships, and hopefully we'll able to meet across the various continents where we all reside. Thank you for having me today.
Super, super. Welcome to this wonderful conversation. We want to listen to a lot of leadership and other community building activities in the education field from you, Yetunde. And my question to you currently is, what role can you have been an educationist yourself. So what role can higher education institutions play in addressing the gender gap in technology fields?
I think it's extremely integral. I think when we talk about institutions of education, we know that they are really the knowledge economy. They're the breeding grounds of creating that intelligence or that, not even social capital, but intellectual capacity for the digital and technology fields. We want to ensure, not only as a professor, but also as a higher education administrator, that we have young women who are entering the fields of STEM, right? We are recruiting not only young girls from high school, right, to make sure that they start at an early age and they're exposed to these fields, and also using the college campuses as incubators, as ecosystems. Some of the brightest ideas and some of the greatest startups have come out of the building of innovative ecosystems on college campuses around the world. And we want to make sure that we're just not producing students to just go into the workforce, but we're producing minds that are innovative, that are problem solving, that are able to add their own footprint, right, to not only the digital economy, but also all the fields in STEM, because we know that it's necessary to ensure that we have the diversity of minds, right? And that includes gender, that includes race, that includes religion, that includes everything. And that's so important when we're dealing with the various global issues that are complex in nature, that require both men and women at the table. It requires everyone's experience. So I think, that's our own, responsibility to ensure that we are producing the minds that can really tackle a lot of these global problems that are in nature through the digital economy and through AI and through STEM.
So what are some of you have been doing some very inspiring work in the field of education. So what are some of those global majority events or some of those global majority projects that you would like to highlight as a part of the idea uh, ecosystem as well as otherwise from the where you really require support of the global majority and how can you take it forward? from here?
So I think I'm a part of various organizations, but I'll highlight three. One is of my own. I am also the founder of what we call Young Women's Guide. And what we do is that we provide leadership and also development for young women from all backgrounds. We've held leadership and STEM related conferences and workshops in South Africa, throughout the US and Nigeria. And then also I am part of the Triple Helix sort of association, and we've had various conferences in Brazil and Nigeria, really talking about what we call the partnerships. And the partnerships really is that we can't count out the institutions of education, that in order to really drive innovation, we have to have a triple helix, which is the partnership between government, civil society, and institutions of education leading that. So we're a group of professors that come together to figure out how do we continuously build innovative ecosystems in our various areas of discipline and also in institutions of education. How do we partner with government, civil society, and oftentimes, of course, corporations to move the needle forward when it comes to innovation? And that has brought about various opportunities for those who are in startup organizations, those who are thinking of ways to solve various issues when it comes to SDGs. And we've created avenues for that. And of course, I'm a board advisor for our Apollo Global FinTech, in which Christina is also a wonderful, part of that story. And that's basically how we met. And also they are looking in Nigeria of also supporting startup innovation, partnering with institutions of education on ground to sort of seek out and tap out some of the best talents that we can find and really support them in their endeavors in accelerator programs. So those are some of the things off the top of my head that I'm a part of. And I'm sure there's some form of convergence and partnerships that we all can sort of, I'll probably type my email in the chat where we all can stay connected as well.
Superb, superb. Thank you very much for this wonderful sharing. And I am sure that as a joint community, as a ecosystem and a family together, we will achieve these objectives. And you would really be in the forefront when it comes to education uh, for women and taking forward the initiatives. Thank you very much for this wonderful conversation. Now, let me just take on to our next speaker for the day. It's Amanda Wick, who is the founder and CEO of Association for Women in Cryptocurrency in USA. Amanda, welcome to this wonderful Women in Technology and Digital Majority.
All right, thank you so much for having me.
Superb. Can you give me a short introduction of what you have been doing?
Sure. So we've been building since October 2022 a global association for women and supportive allies who are interested in making the future of digital finance more inclusive to women. And we started with 50 founding members from all around the world. Now we have over 20 chapters globally. We're at, I think, 800 members in 24 countries. And we have an initiative called Unmantle Your Panel that is working on making sure that women speakers are represented at crypto, blockchain, and Web3 conferences around the world.
Superb, superb. So, according to you, Amanda, you have been working a lot in the blockchain and cryptocurrency sector. Uh, to especially make this crypto and blockchain sectors more inclusive and create environment globally for women, what do you think are the steps to be taken to make it more inclusive?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think we focus on something called intentional inclusion because I think a lot of people don't realize that, sometimes people are just busy, they're working, and they don't necessarily think to broaden their circle of who they know. If I asked you to, if I told you I was coming to India and I wanted you to throw a dinner party, you wouldn't invite seven strangers. You'd invite the people that you're comfortable with that you know wouldn't embarrass you, right? That means we go to the people we know and we keep our circles tight. When that comes to the professional world, in an industry that tends to be all men, it's hard to crack into that if you're a woman. So we just do everything we can to make it a little easier for people to reduce the work. So we have our Unmantle Your Panel program, which is a three-prong initiative. It involves male allies from all around the world who pledge not to speak on all male panels, which are sometimes called manels. It involves conferences in the industry that pledge to have at least 30% women speakers and no males. And it involves a global speaker directory of women and allies around the world who are subject matter experts that will happily fill those panels. And so we started the initiative in 2023, specifically focused at crypto, blockchain, Web3, but we got responses from some banks and other non-crypto entities saying, hey, we'd like to unmantle our panels too. Do you think we could expand this outside of crypto? So one of the initiatives that we're working on is unmantleyourpanel.org and turning it into something across multiple industries, working with other women's groups and trying to eliminate the mantle for good. And the thing is it's not just stick any woman onto a panel. There's so many qualified, brilliant women in these fields who deserve the opportunity to be invited. And a lot of organizers and event planners just don't know they're out there. So if we can connect women with those folks and say, hey, just expand your circle a little bit more and invite these subject matter experts to the panel, you'll get better representation, you'll get more diverse opinions, and you'll include more women who deserve to be there and are qualified to speak on the topic.
Superb, superb. In fact, thankfully, these days, the world of crypto, the world of digital currency, stable coins is coming back and becoming a hot favorite with the people in the world, with the countries all over the world, including the US, taking a lead in building a repository of digital currency. So that is great time for the world of digital currencies and blockchain. So I think you must be definitely busy with a lot of interesting projects, not only for women, but for as such in general as well. So, would you like to share some interesting projects that you're working for in the area of STEM education globally with a focus on the community outreach program? Also, any other projects where you think IDEA can probably play an important role in taking steps and supporting you?
Well, two things. The Unmantle Your Panel initiative. So we're always looking for male allies to sign our male ally pledge. And if you go to our website at womenincrypto.org, if you're a man who's willing to pledge to not speak on a mantle, or if you're a conference who wants to be more intentionally inclusive, we'd love to have you be a part of the Unmantle Your Panel initiative. We also have chapters growing around the world. I think two of our fastest growing chapters are actually in France and in Kenya and Nigeria. And the association's Africa chapter is growing incredibly with an amazing regional ambassador named Chebet Kippinger, who works at Busha, and a woman named Sheila, who I believe is also located in Kenya. And they are building a team that is doing incredible things. And so I would just say if you're a woman or ally in or adjacent to the crypto, blockchain, Web3 industries, and you're looking for a community of both professional support and advocacy to make the industry more inclusive to women, we'd love to have you. And again, we're at womenincrypto.org. And yeah, I think that's probably it.
Wow, wonderful. Womenincrypto.org. That's a great place to be in for all the women who are really wanting to make a mark in the blockchain and the crypto world. And I'm sure that this is just the beginning. The crypto world and the world of digital currencies and blockchain is going to see a lot more upswing in the years to come. And I'm sure that Amanda is going to play a great role. Thank you very much, Amanda, for being a part of this conversation. So
Thank
now,
you, Babu.
absolutely, thank you very much. Now let us go to Mahanang Riana, the Executive Director of Associasi Fintech Sharia Indonesia. Wow, this is a great initiative for promoting Sharia in the world of women, in the world of Islamic banking. That is another very, very inspiring kind of business initiative, Mahanang. Can you just share me a short, brief introduction about yourself?
Masya Allah, thank you, Babu. Bismillah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me today. It's a very privilege to be here amongst the, Masya Allah, wow, it's a group of women leaders. So I'm very honored to be here today. And Indonesia is I believe, is the only one that has the Islamic Fintech Association now. and we are covering about 88 members currently. And now we're not only becoming the hub for the fintech, Islamic fintech, but also for Islamic digital finance in Indonesia. So hopefully by sharing this, so I can share to all of you on what is actually the Islamic principle when it comes to fintech in the industry.
Super, super, Mahaning. First of all, I think you are in the holy month of Ramadan. What a great time for
Yes.
you to be a part of this interesting conversation. And most importantly, dear, you took out your time during the holy month. Let me just start off by asking you a brief about, how can Islamic financial principles drive more women-led innovation in Indonesia's fintech and Sharia or halal sector?
Yes, thank you, Babu. It's actually my pleasure to be here today. So it's 7 p.m. So it's definitely the right time for me to join this session. Yes, if I can give a perspective of Islamic fintech in a very short time, Islamic fintech is actually blends the innovation of fintech with the guidelines of Islamic finance. This create a unique framework for fintech solutions adapt to Islamic standards while embracing the technological innovation. So we consider Islamic fintech as a new way to democratize finance and economy and as a new machine for financial inclusion. And currently, actually, Indonesia ranked number 3 in the world for Islamic fintech, Babu. So that's a good news for us. That's already 3 years in a row. Hopefully, we can rank up this year. So I will share with you about at least two principles, Islamic principle that relates to our topics today. So the first one is that innovation has to give same access, fair access to everyone, and for the benefit of the ummah or humankind. Here in Indonesia, I can say that Islamic fintech ecosystem continue to be stronger, and we can see that here actually the equality is actually well adopted here in giving same opportunity for men and women to be part of Islamic fintech industry. So either as part of the fintech company or as user or as investor or fintech partners. So we can see so many women now involved and even lead or performing key roles in Islamic fintech. For example, one of our 2 Islamic fintech aggregators is actually founded and led by women. And we see some strategic role are actually performed by women in many Islamic fintech platform. And for example, another example is our largest Islamic bank currently released the Islamic super apps, and the leader behind the super app customer experience is also a woman. So, but it all makes sense because as the super apps is intended to give a whole round of Muslim experience as Muslim daily activities from financial transaction, daily spiritual life, including paying zakat or donation or investment, and reminders for praying, reciting Quran, and personal finance management. And you know what? Because of digitalization, actually, it gives us women a chance to live a balanced life. Now we now can work simply anywhere, and woman who has become a wife, a moms, and career woman at the same time can now perform well and still putting the main role as the heart of the family as priority. And to empower womenpreneurship more, World Bank currently working with our government doing a project called We Finance Code, actually that advocate financial institution to segregate data to capture more detailed information about womenpreneur. And we, AFSI as FinTech Association, is chosen as the champion for this initiative for Islamic FinTech. And the second principle, so bear with me, second principle of Islamic is that the Islamic FinTech must result in social impact. One of our Islamic FinTech business model is peer-to-peer financing, which applies crowdfunding model to connect SME entrepreneurs with investors and is allowing everyone without exception, both men and women, to become investors in someone business. On the other hand, SME entrepreneur can now get easy access to financing while still adapting Islamic principle in avoiding loan with interest. And that is why Islamic fintech only focus on productive financing, not for consumptive purposes. And uniquely about Indonesia, because we are now have around 17,000 island, and that is actually a challenge for financial literacy and inclusion. Not to mention we have introduction, the Sharia part. And not all financial institution has luxury to open branches. So Islamic fintech is actually expected to extend the access of Islamic finance through technology, so everyone can have access. And the other interesting part that we have around 65 million MSME, and 64% is actually owned, led, and operated by women. So
Wow.
indirectly, actually, by having Islamic fintech to give access to finance nationwide is actually empowering womanpreneur. And can you imagine the impact here? Because not only for the businesses, but it gives the womanpreneur access to financing investors and also stabilization of the business, as this eventually increase their personal finance, and so can help increasing the family's wealth while adapting a fair, transparent, and interest-free contract that align with their halal lifestyle. So I think that's all from me, Babu.
Superb. I know that you still have a lot more to share, but you are just restricting yourself because I can see the
Yes,
enthusiasm with which you are coming out with. But I am really
mashallah.
happy to see so many projects that you are doing. And there is another very interesting silver lining that I can see between the projects of what you are doing and what Amanda is doing. These days,
Mm-hmm.
there is a lot more asset tokenization for SME
Yes.
financing happening over the blockchain, and how a specialized global asset tokenization over Islamic financing for women can be created a blockchain for this. This is something that you and Amanda can probably collaborate and create as a part of Ideas Network. So please
Yeah,
give us.
sure. Looking forward to that. Thank you, Babu.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you very much. And now let me move on to Victoria. Victoria, hi. Sorry, we missed you in the morning. I mean, it is the evening for you, I think, but here morning in Canada. So, hello and welcome. And let us now listen to some of those interesting inspiring projects that you have been doing. You have been a W20 Sherpa, you have been the head of BRICS Expert Council, and I am sure that you have a lot more interesting things that you are doing and you would like to share. So, can you just share with us first a little brief intro about yourself, and also then start on with how can women in emerging economies with BRICS overcome the barriers to funding and investment in the digital economy?
Sure. Hello. Thank you, Babu, for such a nice and kind introduction. Hello, Amor. Hello, everybody. Good to meet those of you, even though online. And I hope we'll have despite all their importance of digital technologies, we have to meet more in person, because it does bring their personal communication doesn't, go away anywhere. It still remains an important part of our life, and digitalization cannot be overshadowing it. Sorry for being a bit late in joining you in, because I had to, having multiple roles. You mentioned two of those very important ones for me, because they're also dear to my heart, and it just takes lots of time and lots of energy and passion, both heading the BRICS Expert Council and leading their expert and civil track in Russia for BRICS, but also serving since 2015 for 10 years. We're in Jubilee year, anniversary year now, as a Women 20 Sherpa. And it's since the time of the inception of this outreach format. It was started in 2015 by Turkey, and since then we've done a lot, and I'll give you a glance of what's been done there. What I'm also doing is my main job, or let's say paid job, because the rest is volunteering, is being a vice president or vice rector for their HEC University. And HSCD, why is it important, even maybe to start with this one, is because HSC is a very young one. It just 30, it's turning 33 years only, but it's so dynamic that it is just the only Russian university that is in their top 100. It's as global in global ranking as young universities. By THE, it's 87th, so it continues to grow, and by QS it's 31 globally, and the only one from Russia. And we pay huge attention to introducing digital skills to our students. And it's for us, it does make a difference. We don't, let's say, give more preferences to men. We have lots of girls joining us as well, so it's more half a half. But what is important is that it's not only our ICT faculty that is offering the digital schools. It's not only our artificial intelligence institute that leads advanced research and also educational programs in there as well. But I think we are the only one university so far, at least in Russia, maybe there are some in other countries, that introduced obligatory digital literacy course for all students. It doesn't matter which faculty they're at. It's humanitarians, humanities, social sciences, international relations, law, physics, chemistry, geography, anything. Everywhere they have to go through two independently evaluated courses for digital literacy and also digital inclusion. So it allows students, despite whatever profession they are going for, it allows them to have access, and not only have access, but also have necessary skills developed for them as as future professionals. And if you look at rankings once again, in let's say in Forbes in Russia, our graduates are the most highest paid graduates in terms of salary. So, and I think this is a good proof of that. And this is university wide. If you look at their BRICS agenda, what is important is that as part of our, it's always not only part of the official track, but digital skills, internet use, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity as a whole. They remain an important part of deliberations on the expert level. And also, we launched 10 years ago already civil track, and last year it was institutionalized as a civil BRICS Council. And one of the 6 permanent groups there, we have 6 permanent groups for all their 10, 11 countries. Since it's not clear of the status of Saudi Arabia, sometimes we can say, I don't know, 10 and a half or they do participate in certain events. So it is a group that's always there and that pays most important attention to it. Also, if you look today, we're at the BRICS chairship in Brazil. And, they launched 6 key priority areas. And one is artificial intelligence governance, promoting inclusive and responsible international governance of AI in order to unlock the potential of this technology for social, economic, and environmental development. And I think like this type of seminar that we're having here and the people that are involved here, we could be, in fact, I don't know, Amor, Babu, if we could have it as a side effect, I would be really happy if all of you girls, ladies and gentlemen, it is important that we have a gentleman here, if you could be sharing, in addition to what you're all speaking about, but afterwards, if we could have a compilation of best practices, or let's say both best practices, but also compilation of most wanted needs from each of your organizations, each of your countries, regions, and we could be promoting that and asking for more actions on those particular areas, or let's say adding or putting projects together both within BRICS, for those of you countries who are either BRICS members or BRICS plus partners, and also for the G20. As a Women 20 Sherpa, we've had the situation when this was on the agenda from the very start, and financial inclusion, exchange and best practice of supporting micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, including using through digital services, digital platforms. So I would be happy to have this compilation and those suggestions put forward through both forums, so that we could put it to action to the leaders level, because what we're responsible for in both of their realms, we are very much elaborating recommendations for the leaders. But what also we are doing, we are also offering extra platform for their communities to be put together, for the projects to be merged together if they're common platforms. So if this is not too much, I would like to ask this, as everybody could like at least one point for each, your wants, your needs, and your best project, and then we can have the list of those from each participant, and we could promote it both through BRICS and through their G20 Women 20. I don't know.
Super.
This is kind of in very short. There's a lot to talk about. But and also, if you guys are open for university exchange, educational research, there for you.
Excellent. I think that is exactly why Amor told me that, Victoria is going to be a star speaker and she is going to come up with a lot more projects. So you have bombarded us with a lot of projects, and it is really happy that we have a lot to do. And we will definitely put together and curate all these requirements from the different members of the digital majority, and team Oliver and Amor is already taking note of all this, and we will put a small synopsis of all this and present it to you. So great, and thank you for representing all of us in the various global forums, and we would love to share whatever best foot forward from all of us into this. Thank you very much, Victoria, for your participation. And let us now move on to the next speaker. So we have Thip. Thip is again another global leader. She's the brand manager of Lao Mobile Money, and Thip has been really very instrumental in the world of finance. So Thip, what would you like to share with us? And before that, can you just share a little brief intro about yourself first?
Hi, hello everyone. I'm Chip from Lao Mobile Money. So some of us might know Lao Mobile Money, but some of you might don't know. So let me have a brief of the company. Actually, Lao Mobile Money is originally our team is from the telco or telecom communication in Laos. So we have like over 3 million from our subscriber if compared with the population is 8 million. So what we think about how we moving or how we expect the fintech in other of the telecom communication is restore the gap, a lot of the gap or the room that we can pay, and to make the digital financial is more relevant in the global majority. So we set up this company called La Mobile Money, or the e-wallet, that to support first of the step that we make it to support our subscriber or our user. And more than that, we develop almost like 5 years already, and we go too far. We got like 1 million user in this fintech, and also the customer service and the agent is over like 3,000, like over 3,000 of the counter service all around the Lao nation. So we make a lot of the service to facilitate the payment gateway to other like SME and the corporate, and we have a lot of model to support the financial service. And our organization that we have 35 staff or team member in our company, but most of them is female, like 80% in the organization is female, and 20% is the male. Yep. This is the short briefing of Lao Mobile Money.
Superb, superb. So, telecom has always led the financial inclusion and especially digital, financial inclusion. So, from that perspective, and since your company has always been working in empowering women in remote Southeast Asia,
Mm-hmm.
uh, what are the kind of projects and initiative you have focused on in increasing women's access to mobile services in Laos and emphasizing the role of global collaboration to scale up your initiatives?
Yeah, I can share some many projects that we are doing right now and we are will launching in this year, especially focusing on many segments that would include, I can say that is a service that include of both female and male together inside this service. So we are the state company that we have like 62% is belonging to the government is our main shareholder, and other is the external shareholder. So we cooperate with the governments that trying to create the gateway for the remittance because most of our people working out of country, especially in the Thailand. So we starting for this project to make a remittance to send the money back home uh, with many options that make them convenient to use our platform. And also we create the digital soft loan to make the financial service focusing on the women SME to make them have ability to make a soft loan for to running their business. And also inside the merchandise, we also have our platform also access the multi QR code because we have like 19 commercial bank in our country. So we link it with them, and we it's easy for 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 everyone that can use our platform to transfer the money between bank or e-wallet or the other fintech, and also the FinLink to make the allow the business owner can access the payment for the government fee, such as like tax tariff or business tax and so on. And the agent and the merchant platform, we also provide the dealer platform that make them can be one of our dealer that can sell e-pop up or the telecom service by themselves to make the to earn the fee from this kind of service. And other on is we also developing one thing that allow the many business, especially B2B, to have a chance to collab with us. We call the Fintech Viable Service in digital technology that can make their own wallet or make their own toy to redeem or make their own anything that they can like make a clean feed on their own app. And other is Visual Mastercard and something like that.
Superb. So, Thip, any interesting initiative you want to share from the perspective of empowering women, especially when digital payments is becoming important prerogative today, and not many women may be very literate from the digital payments perspective in a lot of developing countries. Any other initiatives about empowering women with digital payments that you are doing?
Yeah, one of the projects that we do the CSR with this disabled women, they make a carve of the back that so we support them and we uh, make them learning how to use the digital platform to make a payment, and also we support them to use the cuff of the bag, the handbag that of one of our premium gifts in our company.
Super, super. Thank you very much, Thep, for your sharing. And if you surely have any projects where you need support of idea, let us know. We can probably take it up accordingly.
Actually, we just done the event with idea last year for the M&X, the Law Digital Financial in Laos. So I have a special guests like Amu and Dr. Shasha come with us and other from the online section. And we discuss a lot inside of that. We also have the government side and the entrepreneur side, the startup, the e-sport, and the other fintech. That is this the first step that we learning together, we exchange the knowledge together, and we try to exchange the use case and take the good thing from each other and share.
Super. Thank you very much, Thep, for your wonderful sharing. So let me just go across to another global digital majority of India. And we have Deepika, Dr. Deepika Saini here, who is the Global Chair of Social Justice, Legal Reforms and ADR from India. And she has been doing a lot of inspiring work in the area of legal and let us learn from her a little bit more. Welcome, Deepika. Can you share me a little bit about what you have been doing and how can women's leadership in legal reforms and social justice contribute to the advancement of the global digital economy?
Sure. Thank you, Babu. Good evening and namaste to all power beams who are present here. So hi, good evening. I
Namaste.
extend my warmest greeting to all of you and wishing you a happy International Women's Day. So I would like to express my gratitude to International Digital Economies Association, IDEA, for organizing this impactful webinar. And my special thanks to moderator Babu Nair. Thank you very much. My sister Amor, whose dedication is promoting gender equality and digital inclusion, which is truly inspiring. So I'll not take much of your time because you have already constrained me with 5 minutes. So I, Dr. Deepika from India, by profession, I am an advocate, cyber expert, and international mediator, working specifically for women's digital right. I have my own organization with the name called Cyber Humane. And me and my team is working with institutions, school, corporates, and IT companies to build trust and empower women to engage fearlessly on social media and internet by promoting a safe digital practices, enhancing cyber awareness, and addressing the online digital harassment issues, financial frauds, data privacy. We are creating a secure environment where women can work, post, and express themselves without any fear. Our initiative are designed to educate women about digital rights, provide resources for digital safety, and foster confidence in navigating digital spaces. So this is all about my introduction that I've been doing in India. And the question, Babu, that you've asked me that while, women's leadership position in legal reforms and social justice is essential. So the answer to the question is that women leaders in law and social justice plays a very, very important role in shaping a fair and inclusive digital economy because cyber and digital policies, laws, and reforms to resonate with the realities faced by women only. So they must be crafted with empathy and great understanding. So women leadership is crucial in this process as women experiences and the perspective enable them to connect deeply with the social issues. And having women in policy making roles ensure that the reforms not only address societal challenges effectively, but also foster a fairness and inclusivity. So I have, put it in 5 pointers. That first is that we need to create stronger digital laws. So women in a leadership position help to draft and enforce laws that protect online users, ensuring cybersecurity, data privacy, and digital rights for all. This is going to build a trust in digital world, encouraging businesses and individual to participate freely. Because still now, if you look at the perspective of the people who are online users, they still have that fear in place that if something goes wrong, what would be the further course of action? And me as a lawyer in India, we have certain things in place that people are always fear of doing the online transactions. They don't want to do it because they know if money goes, it will go. So we are creating the more digital, stronger laws in place. Second is that we are trying to create, promoting equal opportunities. And how we are doing it, that we are advocating the gender equality in tech and business. Women leaders help remove barriers that prevent women and marginalized group from the fully contributing to the digital economy, a more diverse workforce which leads to more innovation and economic growth. We are also working with respect to the fighting cyber crimes and online harassment because women leading legal reforms work to tackle cyberbullying, frauds, and digital exploitation also, which is making the online space more safer. A secure digital environment attracts, we need to understand this perspective that if we have a secure digital environment in place, it is going to attract more investors, more business and entrepreneurs to the digital economy. And we need to empower women and youth in tech by pushing for education and digital literacy program. Women leaders ensure that more and more people, specifically women and young professionals, can access tech jobs, online businesses, and digital financial services, which will eventually boosting the economic participation for us. So this is what is from my side. And I just wanted to tell in nutshell that by combining the legal expertise with social justice and advocacy, women leaders create a balanced and fair digital world, leading to a stronger and more sustainable global digital economy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Deepika. And especially today, in this age of AI and privacy laws that are coming into the area of AI, a lot more legal framework is required for ensuring the privacy
Yes,
as well as ensuring better justice for everyone and their own data. So I think
right.
this is a phenomenal and commendable job. Is there any specific area where you think the global digital majority can be of help to you in taking any of these initiatives or taking it to the global stage? It would be happy to know.
Yes, 100%. See, I feel it that in India specifically, I have noticed that many of the girls are, doing wonderful jobs altogether, but they are fear of, that if we post something on social media, if somebody post a wrong comment about us, or if someone is going to poke, for that matter, so they are not posting anything. So I think we need to have something as a global perspective and global, in terms of law or something related to this, so that they feel it that it's fearless. They feel it that whatever we are thinking, we can post it just to empower our work and our things in place.
Interesting. So creation of a sanitized global platform
Yes,
where women
yes,
can fearlessly share their perspectives to the world.
yes,
Wonderful, Deepika. Let us see how we can empower this as a
yes,
part of the International Digital Economies Association. Our team is taking a
100%.
okay. Great.
Thank
So
you very
now
much.
we have. Thank you very much. And let us go to our next speaker. We have Dua here. Dua has been doing a phenomenal job by empowering women entrepreneurs all over Pakistan and taking them global. So, Dua, a quick short intro about you and how you have been empowering women and helping women entrepreneurs to access more resources and opportunities to scale their digital economy projects.
Thank you so much. Greetings and assalamu alaikum to everyone. This side Dwasu Khera. I am an entrepreneurial philanthropist, award winning, one of the youngest in the country. I'm also a digital skills trainer, And my journey started back in 2014-15 when I was one of the first females in Pakistan who brought the very first dollar for the country through digital skills and freelancing. And after that, I have started enable and empower more Dua Sukheras in the region. Basically, I am from a very small town here that lack basic internet facilities, that lack access to the high tech digital labs. And for that purpose, I have founded the International Institute of Entrepreneurship. And in the last 8 years, we have enabled and empowered 18,000 plus individuals, females in the region, in the very rural region of the country through digital skills. And the aim is that they should earn at least a minimum of $200 per month through freelancing and through digital skills. I'm also the president of South Punjab in Pakistan Freelancers Association, as Pakistan is now the fourth largest community of freelancers in the world. So, working on the enablement and empowerment of the region.
Super, super. So, you have been doing a lot of commendable work and especially making sure that women try to earn a very decent living, sitting in their own country and doing freelancing and empowering them to do local and global projects. So, what are some of those interesting initiatives which you are doing to empower these women in Pakistan? And how you are empowering them with global collaboration, and what kind of global collaboration, according to you, can help them to scale their businesses?
Okay, like Ms. Deepika, the speaker before me, was saying, basically Pakistan and India is facing the same challenges and issues regarding women enablement and empowerment. So in ties, the International Institute of Entrepreneurship, as I said, the region where I belong to has so many stereotypes regarding women working in digital economies or even working outside their homes. So there is the only path, we need to get married after 18, and we don't need to do any jobs. And we, even though if the women are financially sorry, literally qualified, they don't have an access or permission to do a job. So I started working on these things and breaking the barriers and stereotypes. In ties, we have created and designed a module where a kid from the age of 6 to an individual or woman to the age of 45 can learn digital skills and more technical skills that have value to sell in the global markets. And in this module, we are hand holding those individuals until or unless they started earning their first $100. So this module is different for every category, like for 3 months courses to 6 months to 1 year programs. And the final product would be an individual started working from freelancing, earning a bucks of dollars to launching their own design agencies or marketing agency. And one of the very proud initiatives or hand holding we have done here is that women from my region is now creating homemade products and selling them in e-commerce markets or stores, and now I am working for them to sell them in global markets as well. And for idea and for this initiative, I think in Pakistan specifically and in my region, we need to enable from the very basic level. So expanding market access to these women, like connecting women entrepreneurs to the global customers, to the investors and to the platforms is very would be very helpful. And the other thing is funding and investment opportunities. Definitely, many talented startups are here, and they lack the access to the internet markets and investors. And I think we and Idea could work collaboratively to work on these things. And the last thing is definitely the knowledge exchange and the mentorship. Like many women and many individuals out there are skillful and very skillful, but the one thing they lack is how to pitch their skill to any customer and to any investor and to any platform. So these are the key points I think we lack in the industry, and we could collaboratively work on this as well.
Super, super. We can probably see how the global digital majority can probably put a foot forward in empowering the women in especially the presentation skills or taking forward their skill sets to the global markets, because that is something, a global exposure to their skill sets beyond their own region or the markets with limited resources is something that would probably empower these women to open up and take it to the next level. Thank you so
Definitely.
much for such wonderful sharing, and you are really doing a powerful job with the limited kind of resources that you have accumulated, and it is really powerful to see such a great work. Thank you very much for sharing.
Thank you.
Now we move on to our new speaker, Olga Kavera. She is from the Digital Ministry of Post, Telecom, and Digital Economy of Africa. Olga, I would like to invite you into this session. Uh, I think Olga is going to take a little bit of time. Maybe we will introduce our next speaker, who is Rosemary from the Association of Fintechs in Kenya, Africa. Rosemary, hi, welcome to
Hi,
this session.
thank you very much, Babu. I think it's a pleasure to be here. I'm Rosemary Koich Kimwatu, and I'm a director at the Association of Fintechs in Kenya. Kindly let me know if you can. Yeah, good. You had frozen for a bit, Babu, so that's fine. Up here we have amazing projects going on, especially by women. But allow me to speak to one of the key things we're doing as Association of Fintechs. One of the primary ones is open finance. We're leading an initiative with our regulator, with the Bankers Association and the Fintech Association, where we have a memorandum of understanding and a partner, that is the FSD Kenya. And we're having to build basically the footprints for what is going to be an open finance system in this region. And I think for us, that's really fantastic work in terms of we're laying the basics into what's going to be the future of the digital economy in Kenya. I think for those of you who don't know about my country and the part of the world we're from, I think we're the pioneers in terms of mobile money, where we pioneered the transfer of value through an SMS over the GSM network, for those of you who understand telco work. And just basically for a user, just receiving funds through a message. So what we've done is that over the years, we've built sophisticated systems in terms of payments, e-governance, e-payments, digital lending, so on and so forth, a last mile connectivity, especially even for retail. I think we have seamless experiences in online shopping, so on and so forth. And basically now even moving into deeper things like the wider digital economy, including insurance, micro insurance, and even things like cryptocurrency, making use of systems in the blockchain, in emerging technology. What else can we be part of? And of course, building platforms that are even intuitive and using even things like AI to build the next best versions of technology. The biggest challenge here is data. And the thing is, how then do we make sure that we share the right data about our economies? I think those are the core of the things that we're doing here. And a huge part of this is done by women. I think I'll give you an interesting statistics. In lending in Kenya, majority of the good payers are women. However, much less lending is given to women. So that's a paradox in it. Like, it would only make sense, say, to banks and to other entities to give more loans to women. So the data is telling us something else from their behavior. So as the digital as the association in fintechs in Kenya, we have propositions and we speak to our stakeholders, whether it's banks, credit reference bureaus, fintechs, and to ask ourselves, what is the data really telling us about the experience that we give to women? And those are some of the things that we're doing. And even from an open finance perspective, what other services can we offer? For a long time, things like insurance have looked like they're out of reach. However, if you look at the behavior of these women, say, for example, she's a fruit vendor. Her turnover is quite a lot during the day, and maybe she borrows in the evening and pays in the morning. What then can we onboard in order to improve her livelihood? So women are a fantastic cornerstone in this part of the world, right from running their homes, boss ladies in offices like me. I work in actually not one of the largest bank in East Africa. where I had data protection, and we cover operations all the way from the Indian Ocean all to the Atlantic, covering 7 countries. And this is a department led by a woman. And our leadership, our MD in Kenya is a woman. So even today, we had the International Women's Month celebration. We're not just taking it for a day, we're taking it for the entire month. We're owning the entire of March as women. And for us, these are the reflections that we're having. From a digital economy perspective, from a financial perspective, what more can we give to African women and what role are they playing? Some of the challenges that we see them facing are one, access to funding. These are some of the things that we could work with even from an idea global perspective. We give you a pipeline of women who are doing cutting edge technologies. Some are even doing payment switches for banks. And these are female-led organizations. One of our members, actually one of our board members, has built the largest payment system for the transport, for public transport in Kenya, looking to revolutionize public transport. There's so many projects that women are leading. Whether it's banks, we have quite a number of women CEOs more than before, whether it's microfinance banks, whether it's fintechs. And we're seeing women going into uncharted territory, giving the female experience. Even in, for example, microinsurance, some of the leading entities are run by women and actually giving better options to women based on their experiences. So what are we saying? Africa is a greenfield, very ripe for the next generation in terms of growth, in terms of finances, and we're doing it well, and we do it how we know best. However, we have an opportunity to turbocharge and to change the narrative of what is many times misunderstood about this continent. So, asanteni sana, which is thank you very much from Kenya, and looking forward to an engagement, beautiful engagement, and hoping that I've shed light on the amazing things that we're doing here, and looking forward to partnerships and reaching out to the to our partners at IDEA to just come and have a showcase of what the women here are doing and the larger fintech community and the digital economy at large to just see what more we can do together. Thank you.
Superb, superb, Rosemary. You have encapsulated such powerful and interesting, initiatives that you have been doing. In fact, here in Canada, we are working with the African, not African, but yeah, African Fintech Association for a Canada Africa Fintech Summit, headed by our chairman of IDEA, Dr. Segunaina. And we are really looking forward to some wonderful entrepreneurs from Africa to share their initiatives with us. And we have some wonderful women as well who are coming here as speakers for this initiative. And typically from Africa, there has been a lot of women leaders who have been really pitching their businesses in some of the pitches which we see here in Canada. So it is very encouraging to see. Is there any support that you require from the global digital majority to work with you into the African projects? We would be happy to share with you.
Yes, actually, there's quite a bit. In a number of our initiatives, the biggest thing is we're struggling with regulatory agility. Hence, we started with the Open Finance Project. If we could get maybe some research on the impact that open finance systems have on women, but even in turbocharging digital economies, I think for us that would be a good win. And even support in some of these initiatives. We're about to close our project, and we'll share this with the larger idea group. When we're done, we'll share the studies that we've done with the economy, with the economic players on this side of the world. We'll look forward to more feedback and even support to do the next level. We've just done the baseline study, and I think that there's an opportunity for us to do more and more so that we can help plug in and help do more here. And of course, transfer of technology we can't say enough. And we have really good technology that we can export. So it's not even asking for help, but just asking you to see so that we can showcase and see how we can have meaningful partnerships moving forward. Thank you.
Superb, superb. I would love to do an interview with you on your open finance technology. In fact, last week I have done an interview with Mr. Open Banking of Canada on how this part of the world is now getting into open banking. I will be uploading it this week. I will share the link with you as well. And from your side,
Yes.
if we can share you some of those research papers which we have been finding from different parts of the world, I would be more than happy to share it with you. But kudos to the great work that you are doing, and love to share whatever best that we can do in empowering yourself in taking the inclusion into the open finance and
And then
finance.
there's one more thing, actually. We're having the Africa Tech Policy Week coming up. I think the Association of Fintechs in Kenya will be having a working session. We'd invite those who can fly in to have a working session on the digital economy, just to have candid conversations on what our interpretations of this is. And it's part of the Internet Governance Forum in Kenya and East Africa that is being hosted in Kenya in the second week of May. So this is actually an open invite. And we even have a workshop happening next week. We'll share the live link for Open Finance. Yeah, so welcome.
Thank you very much. So great sharing. So let me just switch on to our next speaker, Eva Gachoki. She is the Legal and Compliance Officer of Africa Fintech Network, once again from Africa. And we really have a great support in idea from Africa. Eva, welcome to this conversation, and do share a little bit about how can regulatory framework in Africa be optimized to support more women-led startups and tech initiatives? And before that, okay, I think today Eva has probably sought some alignment, and we will speak to the next speaker now. It is Chilekwa Banda. Chilekwa, she is also from Africa. She is the president of Southern Africa Fintech Network. Chilekwa, hi. Do share a little bit about yourself and the kind of initiatives that you have been speaking about.
Thank you, Babu. Thank you for this privilege to speak amidst very powerful women. Following on the conversations from the previous speakers, I'm the vice president, not the president, for Southern Africa, for the Africa Fintech Network. And I am also the director of fintech in my day job at Bridging Gap Solutions. I am also the chairperson of the Association for Digital Finance Practitioners in Zambia. Now, one of the things that is very clear to me is the empowered woman, right? And this being in light of Women's Month, I think for a woman to be considered empowered, you exude a certain level of confidence. And this confidence, so far, even from the engagements, you find comes about when a woman has access to funding or has access to money. One of the things that we are doing in the Association for Digital Finance Practitioners is to use capacity building programs and initiatives to raise awareness on what opportunities are out there. We have so many women with brilliant ideas, but they don't really know where to channel those ideas because they don't have access to funding. And we have built an application, a loan management system within Bridging Gap Solutions that is looking at ensuring that whilst the focus will be on lending, we are also able to analyze the credit scores of these women. Most of the times you'll find that women would want to borrow money from the banks or larger financial institutions, but there's no track record of how much money they were able to borrow and how their repayment plans are and how well they're able to repay those funds. So our platform is focused mostly on looking at the data around their credit score and ensuring that even as they're borrowing this money or whether we sell this platform to another lending institution, they're able to track the women. Another aspect of that is, of course, behind all these solutions, which are in-house solutions, we have our local developers that are building these solutions. The beauty of this is we have minimal support, and I say minimal because whilst there's a global support towards women-led applications and services, you find the funding is quite small because it would target maybe a certain level of connectivity, which is the biggest challenge. As we speak right now in my country, we're going through what we call load shedding, where we have a certain amount of power provided for a certain area at a certain time and then it is switched off. So you find that even access to financial services is highly affected because for you to have a good source of power, you need to spend a lot of money in getting your secondary power. And so these are some of the initiatives that would help a fintech like ours in implementing these solutions to the wider network, especially the rural and underserved communities. And I'm also happy to announce that we have recently been given an opportunity to participate in a Women in Fintech hackathon, the very first hackathon being held targeting Zambia and Malawi, about 20 startups that are led by women going to participate in this competition to create a program that targets the local challenges. So our loan management system is the solution that we're bringing to the table. And whilst there's funding being brought in from two organizations, I'm sure you're familiar with the COMESA Business Council, which targets the common market for East and Southern African countries. Zambia is one of the countries. But there's also an opportunity to tap into the SADC region. And so if we're looking around opportunities to participate in, this would be a good opportunity because it's targeting COMESA. And yeah, there's a lot that is happening that I could share. And I'm happy to be in touch with anyone on the call or outside the network who would like to be involved. But these are some of the great opportunities that are coming our way. And we've also noticed that most women are likely to want to get funding or be associated with a women-led institution because there's some sort of trust. Sorry, Babu, I know you're the only man here, Mr. Siambo, but there's something about women trusting other women when it comes to financial services. Of course, security is the biggest challenge, but again, with cybersecurity, there's a lot of funding required for us to ensure that there are no fraudsters that are targeting our women. But yeah, that's what I thought I should share.
Superb, superb. In fact, this is a forum for you to share what you require, and there is nothing to be sorry about it. This is a forum for you to put forward what you require. You're doing some wonderful and inspiring work. I will also be personally in touch with you for some interesting initiatives in Africa in the future. Thank you very much, Chelekwa, for your wonderful sharing. And now let me just move on to Joel. So, who is the General Secretary of Digital Senegal from Senegal, Africa. Hi, Joel. How are you today?
How, Babu? How are you? I'm fine, thank you.
So,
Very
Joel,
honored to be part of this webinar.
sure. So, Joel, do share us a little bit about what great work you have been doing and what kind of support you would require from the global digital majority as well.
Yes, thank you to allow me to speak today. Thank you to IDEA, thank you to Amor for inviting me. I'm very glad to be part of this panel with this a lot of inspiring women. I don't know everyone, but I'm glad to share with you what we can do and what all the possibilities we have. So concerning West Africa, because I'm in Senegal, and concerning the empowering women in West Africa, what I can say, I can start with some example. There is a little support between women. There is little support also between men and women. And it's not natural to make business and to be associated with a man or to make business between women. So this is the first point I want to put in the table because concerning women in business, where many mentality has to change. So my focus will be on the current economic and social landscape of West Africa, highlighting the gender gap and the importance of economic empowerment. Here in West Africa, I want to do some little historical background. We are 17 countries. We have more than four currency. We have a number of ethnic groups, and the well-known were Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa in Nigeria, Akan in Ghana, Fulani, all across West African countries, Mende people in Mali and Senegal. Here in Senegal, we have our official language is the French, but we have also many other ethnic language. So concerning the religions, we have the African religions and the Christian and Muslim religions. And concerning our area, the richest country and the most populous country is Nigeria. So what we can point is the informal economy is dominant. We have here in Senegal 93% of informal economy and 7% of formal economy, and the tax pressure then is only on 7% of the working population. And the consequences for women is that they are often overrepresented in the informal economy. And this can lead to precarious employment, limited social protection, and lower earnings. But for our concern concerning digital economy, we have good news for women because we have new government here in Senegal, and the digital economy is part of all the new digital strategy, national strategy here in Senegal. And what we can say is that the strategy part of the Senegal 2050, the national transformation agenda aims to make the country a leader in Africa's digital economy. So sorry for my French accent, but I will try to do my best.
Super.
With the technical New Deal, Senegal is committed to strengthening its digital sovereignty by developing local solutions and securing its infrastructure, data center, connectivity, universal access to internet, creating environment with champions, introducing a single digital identity based on biometrics, and supporting innovation and entrepreneurship. This will put our country in many opportunities. We have many challenges, but many opportunities also, and women can take part of this. To finish, what I can say is that we, as a woman, we have to take more risks, work more between us, be a great businesswoman, be more, have more impact, and we can keep in touch for that.
Super. Thank you very much, Joel, for encapsulating a lot of thoughts. I know it is really very difficult when you're doing such a lot of work to encapsulate it in 4 to 5 minutes, but I think you guys have been doing a phenomenal job on that. Thank you very much. And I am sure we can put it more into the forums of idea and keep sharing it together with everyone. So now our flight has taken off from Asia, it has gone to South Asia, then to Africa, and now it has gone to the Middle East and to one of my favorite countries in Bahrain. I have had the privilege of being there for quite many a times, working with the EDB of Bahrain, Khalid Al Rumali and team. And Susie, welcome to this wonderful conversation. I would love to know a lot more about what new is happening at Bahrain, especially from the fintech empowerment of women. And let us know a lot more from you. First, can you just introduce yourself, and then we will get into what are the major barriers for women in Middle East financial sector, and what kind of collaborations are you looking at to take this to the next level?
Babu, thank you so much. I think it's funny that you mentioned Khalid Mehi. I'll go back to the EDB in a second, but it's great to be here, and I've heard everyone's ideas. My name is Susie Zira, and I am the Chief Operating Officer of Bahrain Fintech Bay, which is our fintech hub version. And funny if it spun off from the Economic Development Board, which was led by Khalid Mehi. So he was the champion of our initiative. And just listening to all the ladies talk about what they're doing in the fintech hubs around the world, for this matter, it's lovely to connect. I would love to hear more about what you do. We're very similar in the sense of, rather than to go through the old initiatives of what's going on with women in terms of the Middle East, because we can talk about the Middle East as a whole with 500 million people. We can talk about the GCC, which we represent as Bahrain's hub. And we share around everyone, that's like from Rosemary to Joel, everything that you're saying is the same issues we have. Even in Pakistan, the idea of the accessing funding, there are these issues, but we're moving forward. I'm very lucky to be in a senior position in our organization. Our head, or CEO of Bahrain's Economic Development Board, which is chaired by His Royal Highness, our Crown Prince. She's a female, and she's also the Minister of Sustainability, which actually really helps with all the women empowerment stuff that's going on. Just to give you as well a little bit background about Bahrain and some of the initiatives. We're a very small country, as you know, maybe, but we've been there. We're now at 1.7 million people. And that actually is a good thing, because we're very small, so we make very quick decisions about any initiatives that go on. We're the first country to give women the right to vote in the GCC, and the first to be allowed to vote in parliament and to drive. There's a lot of firsts. Even in terms of the regulations, our central bank is the only and well-regarded central bank in the region. There's one in our country instead of many, like they are in the regions in general. We're the first to launch the open banking license and the crypto assets exchange license. So we're quite ahead of the game. And when I'm trying to think, like, what is our goal in Bahrain? We're a small nation. We pride ourselves on our regulation policies because we move and adapt them very quickly. But also, one of the ways that we're trying to put ourselves forward in the GCC, because we have our neighbors Dubai, which get a lot of PR and media, and Saudi Arabia with a large market, is to focus on talent development. So at Bahrain Fintech Bay, and in general, the mandate of our government is to push talent forward. And then that is both female, we're pushing a lot in terms of female-led programs, but also in terms of, pushing talent as a whole for the region. We are very lucky to have City Bank that's got their the tech hub that's based in Bahrain, and they've actually filled their quota for female tech developers for the region from Bahrain. So we have all these initiatives that we've been running from ourselves at Bahrain Fintech Bay. We're running both Standard Chartered and Visa's Women in Tech initiatives and She's Next initiatives, which is for us a big part of our growth, trying to push entrepreneurship. Female-led entrepreneurship is starting these acceleration programs. And some of the areas that are not so easy to get past are the investment side. It's basically not just for women, but in general. I would love to work with some of our colleagues here on seeing how we could get more interest to getting female founders to get more funding and so on. But I mean, in terms of what we do a lot around support. I'm a part of the Women in Tech chapter for Bahrain, and it's been in Bahrain for a few years now, and there are a lot of programs that we support to push university students, to push females to take more active roles, and basically, if I can put it in a nutshell, we're really trying to push the regulations that we have. And I think one of the ladies here was talking about if there's anything in open banking. We were the first in the region, and I'm happy to work with any groups on that. Same on the digital assets space. We've now got the stablecoins license about to be issued in the next month or so. So we've got a lot of interesting space in terms of that. So very happy to work with you guys on that. So I know I've diverted the question about the Middle East, but I think it's on this call, it's very apparent that it seems to be an issue on all areas, all over the world, on every aspect. And would love to work with my counterparts here as well to see how I could bring some of their initiatives to Bahrain. particularly in the education field. We're looking for programs, university programs. We're launched in the MENA Innovation Academy just in October, which we partnered with UC Berkeley and with Georgetown and soon to be other universities, around the world. If there are is there anybody out here that would like to work on perhaps bringing some of these short courses to Bahrain? I'd be happy to work with them as well and to see how we can get more talent development and tech development, for that matter, with all the fintechs moving to the Middle East for Bahrain to push forward. But I hope that answers your question, Shwab. It was very long, trying to keep it short.
No, I think it is really a challenge to, encapsulate all the great work you have been doing. I have been, witness to a lot of great work in uh, Bahrain, especially from the fintech side, because I have been associated for last 8 to 10 years, being invited there for some of the events as well. So I
Yes.
know a lot of great work has been happening. I have had the privilege to see your fintech bay as well. So it has been a
Wonderful.
real great pleasure to
Well, I'd love to
see.
invite whoever's coming to the region. We'd love to have you here and support in any of your initiatives that we can in Bahrain. So that would be great.
Let me also see how I can try to associate some of the universities here, like the University of
Please.
Waterloo,
That would be
Canada,
fantastic. That would be fantastic.
or the blockchain institutes here. If we can try to connect and see
That would be
what can.
fantastic.
Thank
Absolutely.
you
Thank you
very
so much,
much.
Babu. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much.
Take care.
Now let me just move on to Magdalena. Magdalena, welcome, and you are from the uh, Polish Investment and Trade Agency in Singapore. I am just seeing you are from Singapore. Oh, it is very late for you. You should have been taken into
Babu,
this.
don't worry. Let me tell you, like currently on business trip in Poland. So like I just came for a week here. So it's a funny setup for me in that sense, like completely
Great.
jet lagged
But
and all of it. So I don't even know if I should say good morning or good evening or what
for
would
me,
be
it is morning.
appropriate.
For me, it is just 9:40 in the morning here in
Oh,
Toronto.
all right.
But good afternoon to you. So,
Hello, everyone.
good
Babu, thank you so much for having me. And I'm really honored to be among you all ladies. I have an amazing experience. It was really a pleasure to listen to all your inputs. For the last over 15 years, I've dedicated my work life in supporting tech companies, mainly startups. The last 7 years, operating in Asia, but before I was working in accelerator with the European reach. So that's a funny situation in the sense that like half of this time I spend in Europe, completely focusing only on Europe, and now I'm more here in ASEAN. So what I'm trying to do is I would like to set up and establish some tech bridges in between to make sure that there is some cross-border collaboration in between Europe and Asia itself. And throughout all these years, I had different hats. Currently, as Babu mentioned, I'm a head of Polish Investment and Trade Agency for Singapore office 7 years, but was also part of the Central Eastern Chamber of Commerce as a vice president and doing different things. I'm active in different organizations and associations. So a part of probably helping Polish entrepreneurs currently in the market entry. We also do a lot of different tech initiatives. Just maybe to name one of them, I've been working with MAS, Monetary Authority Singapore, and we launched the European Fintech Accelerator, dated 2020. So we've done 4 editions. So things like that as well. Yeah, so that's quite broad, and I'm really happy to hear about all those initiatives, and then I'm also happy to hear how we can collaborate in the future. We are actually planning to do a Europe ASEAN forum on the sidelines of Singapore FinTech Festival in November in Singapore, which might be a platform for us to further explore some opportunities. I would be happy to shed a light on some female-led, woman-led entrepreneurs or even VC as well, which is an interesting topic. And really, in recent years, I think we've all been observing a growing momentum in both women-led ventures and women-led VC firms, which is really heartwarming. And going back to Babu's question that I got earlier about how we can bridge, yes, and facilitate those cross-border investments. I think that the key challenge is that many VCs in the region, because we're talking about intercontinental cross-border, they do have a regional mandate. This means that if we want to facilitate those cross-border collaborations, we should probably benefit maybe more from the involvement of the institutions with a broader and global mandate. And just to name a few, we can think of, for instance, World Bank or maybe Asia Development Bank. They can foster this intercontinental and inter-country relationships. And they do have the clear mandate, especially for the development, for impact and including gender equality, which is much more important as well. I was also thinking for a moment about the early stage bubble, because this is, of course, the investments for the typical venture capital, but for the early stage, I'm not sure if you ladies are aware, there is a European Business Angel Network, pretty active in Europe, and it's an interesting platform. They have over like 150 membership, and they're partnering other angel network platforms. Also having some committees, it's called the European Business Angel Network for Gender, helping women and high net individuals to collaborate and leverage on the networks. And I believe that such platforms can play a crucial role to drive and stimulate those cross-border investments, because otherwise, if we do not have those, let's say, facilitators from the innovation ecosystem, it's very difficult to get an impact and have access to funding as well. And so probably those two comments. So from the institutional engagement and business angel networks, and I would be very happy as well if any of you ladies are involved in those European, and not European, but the angel networks in ASEAN, because when I was working in the incubator back in Poland, I was representing this incubator in the European Business Angel Network. And when I came to Asia, I was really trying to link all those two platforms and get some people on board, but there were no links in place. Before that webinar, actually, I've deep dive and found out that in the meantime, there is Malaysia, New Zealand, and Australia, which are involved, and they have active memberships with the European Business Angel Network. And I think that if we can plug in some other associations from ASEAN, that would give us a great platform to drive those cross-border investments and help women to get in touch, and even for technical assistance and even the smart money, because this is what's so much important, I believe, and gives a great value. So I'd be very happy if anyone has comments on that. Even we can chat about it later as well.
Super. I think that's a great initiative, and I think Amor and team are already working with the Philippines Fintech Association. They work very closely in the Philippines as well, so that is also a part of the ASEAN. There is a very strong ecosystem. Of course, in Malaysia, you are already in touch, but there are a lot of people. Now, we will definitely connect offline and share a lot more knowledge about what is happening. Thank you very much for this valuable sharing, Smolak.
Thank you,
And let us move to our next speaker, Annabelle. Annabelle, sorry, we are around 15 minutes late, but I'm sure that when there are so many women sharing so many inspiring projects, it is very difficult for one single man to continue and control it so much. So, but thank you very much for being patient. And Annabelle is the head of acceleration program at Luxembourg House of Financial Technology. And welcome both of you. Do share us something. Anthony, right?
Yes, it's Anthony.
Great.
Yeah.
Anthony and Annabelle, do share with us the interesting initiatives that you are bringing into the global digital majority.
Yes. Hello, everybody. First of all, I want to thank Ms. Amor for inviting us, including all of the organizers. And I would like to let my colleague Annabelle quickly introduce the Catapult programs that also has women enrolled in the acceleration.
Not enough.
Please.
I shall say not enough. Thank you so much, Amor, for letting me be part of this webinar with you guys. I will introduce you to Anthony, but first of all, yeah, I would like to briefly discuss about the Catapult acceleration program we do, because they are for everybody, every fintech all over the world. We have Catapult Africa that have been running for the last 7 years. So we are running our 8th edition next time in October in Kenya. So please, when you see the call for application, do apply. As I said, we never have enough women. And we had fantastic entrepreneurs, women coming and being part of this program. So I know what you all are capable of. And we are here to help you to boost your impact and your business. We also have Catapult Southeast Asia. We just closed the call for application. And as I say, not enough women, but there are some very, very good ones. So I'm very happy. And next year, we'll be launching the Catapult Acceleration Program in LATAM. So what's very special about those programs, because you have acceleration program all over the world in every countries. We run programs that are free of charge for participants. We pay for everything. And we can do that because we are actually sponsored by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Luxembourg. Every year, they spend more than 1% of their GNI on aid and development. And in this context, and as they know that fintechs are the heart of microfinance or financial inclusion, may I say, they decided to approach us and ask us to actually build a very specific program for fintechs in emerging markets. So we decided to start with Africa because it was logistically wise, it was the closest to us. We run 5 edition, and after the 5th edition, we decided to run one. I can't remember your name, from Senegal, sorry, but we run one in French for targeting the western part of Africa. It has been very successful. It was in Togo. And so we're doing a lot on acceleration program. And as I say, please, whenever you receive or you see the call for application, spread it for the fintech so that they can actually join this program. I have actually invited a man today because he's doing so much for talent, education in Luxembourg, and he has this absolutely fantastic program about women in tech that has been running last year with a great success. And I really have asked him if he could give us some of his time today to explain what it is all about.
Yeah, so it's called the Women in Finance and Technology program. That is a program that lasts around 6 months, where we recruit women that are working in the finance and technology industry in Luxembourg. We have extremely talented women that are joining Luxembourg from all over the world to work within the sector, and they all have the same issues. They don't know anybody. They have these are extremely creative women, and they end up leaving Luxembourg after an extended period of time because they aren't able to find routes, opportunities to connect. It's a very finance-driven environment, and we wanted to support and give them access to connect quickly as soon as they arrive in Luxembourg, and to work on projects that are industry related, where they get to solve pain points related to their immediate working environment, or they get to develop a go-to-market strategy to overcome to help them find a market fit if they come up with an entrepreneurial idea. The reception that we've received with this program has been exceptionally well. We did a first call to application with 150 applicants. Now for the second cohort, we have 200 women that applied, and we recruited 50 junior level to C-level entrepreneurs, so that we are accelerating within 6 months. We have 2 weekly sessions with them during lunch time, where we introduce to them leading entrepreneurs in Luxembourg, men and women that have scaled their companies. We've introduced them to the to leading to bankers, to insurers, where they get to digest some of their knowledge, and they get to introduce their solutions to them. So there is an ongoing feedback loop, and they get to connect with among themselves on a weekly basis. What I really like about this program, and I tell that to them on a regular basis. I would like them to be friends, to work on industry related programs, but to develop friendship, because I think that's really what's very unique to have. And by the end of this program, they get to pitch on their solutions on the biggest stage. So it's a very competitive program, which makes it very realistic. But they get to connect with one another over 6 months on a weekly basis. And when you do that with 30 to 50 to 60 women, you create a very, very unique environment. Also, what we do is we do corporate visits. We bring them. So we have we have 3,000 square meters here at the loft where we can host them on a monthly basis, and we do these corporate visits that are also very useful. At the end, we had 13 projects, solutions that were presented. Some of them were recruited in other acceleration programs across the Europe, and many of them have developed entrepreneurial skills that they make use of in the banking and insurance industry in Luxembourg for Luxembourg's future competitiveness. And this is something, a best practice that can be deployed anywhere to support women at a low scale, but also at the large scale. And we're doing it with the resources that we have. And the industry reception has been very, very high. And Amor has been a great supporter also of this course. She's been tremendously supportive, and I can't stress how thankful we are to have such a great ambassador. Thank you everybody for having us on the podcast.
Superb, Anthony. That is really a fantastic and inspiring initiative. In fact, here in Canada and India, we started an initiative which we are spreading to ASEAN called as Women in Finance and Fintech Industry. And a lot of things resonates with what you are doing. So I would love to exchange some notes in this area on how to engage with different levels of women, which you have been doing from the entrepreneurial to even the working professionals in the finance and fintech and the newcomers, and especially women who want to get back to job after their parenthood. That is another major area of women who really need support when they want to come back. We will have a detailed discussion on this, but thank you for this inspiring sharing that you have done on this initiative. We would love to take this forward. Now, let me move on to our next speaker. I think she is one of the most inspiring person who has been here from the first, very first speaker, and she has been listening to everyone so patiently and with all the years. Isadora, welcome to this interesting session. And she has been a research fellow on data governance and data sphere initiative from Brazil. And you're really a researcher because you have been really noting down all the points and seeing how you can make the best out of it. Do share with us some perspectives about what role can data governance play in promoting women's leadership in tech, especially in Europe and globally. And with data governance and AI becoming so important in today's life, I think your research and your studies would definitely be an important landmark for all of us. Do share your thoughts.
Thank you so much, Babu. Hello, everyone. Good evening and good morning from Brazil. My name is Adora Perez. I'm born and raised in Salvador, Bahia, and I am a legal and policy advisor. My expertise spans regulation, public policy, and practical application on private sector. My focus is on internet and data governance. And over the past years, I have also been working with a leading global data analytics company based in the US. So this means I have been following the narrative of data for a while now. And I know we have so little time, Babu, but I'd like to, of course, mention what a joy and an honor it is to be here among such inspiring women. And I also want to extend my gratitude to Christina and the whole IDEA team for this opportunity. So regarding your question, Babu, I'll be really brief. My focus is really on a geodynamic, geopower discussion, right? Digital economy is powered by data. We all know that. But the way that data is collected, it's processed, and it's used, it's not neutral. It does reflect power dynamic. It does reflect historical biases and structure inequalities. And as women in data governance, our role is not to just about seeking inclusion in decision-making processes. It's about reshaping the very principles that govern data to ensure that digitalization serves as a force for gender equity and justice. So I'll refrain myself from speaking about the strategies and the numbers that we all know about because of time, but I'll just hold my case on the number of that only 20% of IT professionals and tech professionals in Brazil are women, right? So because of that, I'll bring one of the solutions that I'm a proud partner of. It's an initiative called Programaria. It's a play on words. It's founded by my dear friend Iana Shan, who is a second generation Chinese Brazilian entrepreneur. It's a play on words, right? Programa comes from programming, developing, creating code, while Maria is a common Brazilian name for women. So together it symbolizes ordinary women who code, create, and develop technology. So what we do is that through education, mentorship, and community building, we equip women with the technical skills to enter the digital economy, right? We prepare these women to be fully specialized in the workforce. But we are also preparing these women to engage in governance discussions and influence policy at different levels. Because data governance is not just about understanding data, it's about who gets to set the rules for how data is used, right? So when we empower women with technology, technical literacy, and critical perspectives on technology, we create a pipeline of professionals who can actively shape the design, regulation, and logical, ethical use of data. We are seeing that when women enter AI, as you said, Babu, AI and data governance roles, they bring perspectives that prioritize fairness in algorithmic decision-making. Women advocate for gender disaggregated data collection. We push for policy measures that hold tech companies accountable for biases in their systems. So at Programaria, we see this happening in real time, right? Our alumni are not only securing roles in major tech companies, but they are also engaging in public debates. They are engaging in regulatory discussions and corporate policies. And those engagements influence directly how AI and technology driven systems operate, right? So what I'm trying to say here is that at least my message would be to think as women as architects of a fair digital economy, right? Gender equity in the digital economy cannot be an afterthought of digital transformation. It must be a core element of data governance policies. And this requires more women in tech spaces, more women in workforce, and occupying data governance roles, influencing regulations to ensure fair, inclusive, and accountable AI or technology policies, and designing global digital infrastructure that reflect our real needs and realities, right? So what I would like to give as a takeaway is that data governance can be a tool for social justice, but only if we shape its rules to ensure that digital systems empower rather than exclude, right? So I'm always all ears. It was a pleasure listening to us all. We are already at the time, but I invite us all to continue pushing boundaries so that the future of tech is built with equity, inclusion, and justice for all at its core. Thank you very much, Babu, and thank you all of my colleagues here. You're on mute, Babu.
Thank you very much, Isadora. Thank you very much for your powerful sharing. And data governance is one of the most important and critical areas today, especially when AI is all over the place and people are really scared about, how AI is going to be used and misused. And again, cyber insurance, cyber governance, all those policies are going to be very critical in tomorrow's world, and especially in in a world of women. And I think you all are the leaders who have to lead the light in taking this forward. So thank you for this powerful sharing, and I am
Thank
sure we
you.
can connect with each other in the future forums and see how we can build a better world together. So moving on to our next speaker, Mary Aina. Mary is from North America and Africa. She has been doing some wonderful and powerful work in empowering women as well as the talent globally in both US and Africa and North America for that matter. And she is a board member of Apollo Global Innovation. Mary, welcome to this wonderful show of idea, and let us know some of your wonderful ideas.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me here today. I am very grateful to be among the amazing women that have spoken so far. I love listening to all the wonderful things you're doing, and I look forward to further collaborations. I myself, I'm a technology leader with expertise in digital transformation, innovation strategy, and workforce planning. I do have a strong background in banking and insurance technology, and currently lead strategic initiatives that drive operational excellence and sustainable growth. In addition to my key work, I also serve as a council member of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria. I'm part of the planning committee for the upcoming Canadian African Fintech Summit in August 2025, which I know, Babu, you will be there. And I'm inviting everyone to participate. I can give more information if required. And of course, I sit on other boards of multiple startups. I'm passionate about supporting women in technology and fostering inclusive, innovative ecosystems. Today, however, I will be focusing on my work with Apollo Global Innovation Limited and how we can amplify women leadership in the digital economy. Apollo Global Innovation is an incubator and accelerator that nurtures talents into global innovators, entrepreneurs, and solution developers. We do this by providing the resources and ecosystem needed for innovators to scale their ideas into global ventures. Ecosystems like ours play a pivotal role in fostering women-led digital enterprises. At Apollo, we do this through three key pillars: access to knowledge, networks, and capital. From a knowledge perspective, we have capacity building programs, mentorship, and leadership training that help bridge gaps and build confidence for women in navigating the digital economy. From a networking perspective, women entrepreneurs often face challenges in accessing high-value business networks. With our innovation hubs, we can create dedicated platforms for peer learning, innovator connections, investor connections, and industry collaborations. From a capital perspective, we found that traditional funding mechanisms undervalue women-led enterprises. Through our partnering with venture capital firms, impact investors, and public-private initiatives, we can ensure that women founders have equitable access to funding. What do we need from this group? Partnership. We want to partner as best as possible. We want to collaborate. There's a lot of work that's going on everywhere, and we want to be part of that. And we know that together we can work to make it better. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think that was a short, crystal clear, and great message from you, Mary. And we surely look forward to a lot of initiatives where we can work together and take these initiatives to next level of growth. So now I would like to invite our next speaker, the wonderful Maria, who has been the flag bearer of IDEA, who has been heading the communications committee and my chair for the communication committee. And I would love to know from Maria some great initiatives that you have been working around in the last few months, and where you want to take IDEA to the next level.
Oh, thank you, Babu. Thank you, everyone. I'm really happy to be here and how to say broadcasting from the heart of Romania. Right now, I am in Romania. I hope everyone, if you know, like this country, it's a beautiful country. Hope to invite you one day to join some conference here, because right now this market is really willing to find some expertise and to build some bridges. So there is a lot of actually activities, and I would love to share it like in a document, because otherwise I will not make it happen in 5 minutes. But what I want to say right now, and I think it's most important thing, that all information we got today, I just like joined half hours ago, and I just like done a lot of notes. And what we're gonna do, Babu, I think after this webinar, it's put everything on the paper. And as far as I'm in charge of communication and community engagement, so I feel that I need to share all this information in our media network in the different markets. So, and I also want to, how to say, engage all of you and all your resources to share the programs information we received today. So please be welcome to share more like press releases, wherever, like all the links. Otherwise, I'm gonna come to you, ask to like all the links and all the information. So because people need to know this, and I really agree there's like the gap in between creators and the people like in the watchers, like, right, who can support, who can be involved, because what I can hear right now, like it's like all the programs can be connected with Armenian initiatives. And it's like plenty of foundations and the government activities, like who is really looking just opportunities to communicate with all of you. And so let's make it happen. That what I want to say, because like I'm starting like my entrepreneurial experience when I was 20, and I went through all these gaps and you know, like challenges, like when you try to find the right content contacts, when they try to find the right community. So that's, I think, the most highlight value and focus, right, in idea community and idea association. And yeah, let's make the bridge happen. Let's connect each other, and let's share all this information. Like, for example, we have huge media network in CIS countries, right? Like the same we can find like in Asia, so Babu, India, whatever. So what I think this like my takeaway and my action plan to connect everyone and to try to make some deliverable things. So yeah, that's like long story short.
Sure. Sure. So it is a task to make
Yeah,
somebody who has
for
got so
sure.
much of content to speak
It's
in
task for
5 minutes.
our it's task for our committee, so that's why I'm here. Because like of course I can share, but I will share it's like in a document. So I think like it's easier way like to just like look through, because I have a lot, as you know, like I have Armenia, I have Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, wherever stan. So
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Maria. And I am sure that we would be having a lot more interesting sharing from everyone. And let us, with this note from Maria, let us thank everyone for being a part of this invaluable session for today. And we look forward to have a lot more such wonderful and engaging sessions with each one of you and collaborate together to make this world a better place. I would like to thank especially Amor for putting this together. She has been a great leader and collecting the gems from all the continents of the world. Putting together the gems from all the continents of the world is not an easy task. And she has just put together only 20 women today, but I know that she has 2,000 people whom she has in her network whom she can put together. And for that, we would have to run this webinar for days together. But wonderful, and putting together such a great team, Dr. Alexander. Uh, Even Oliver has been a real great help. He has put together all the questions and the names of the people and really meticulously helped us in putting together the session idea. And let us collaborate. Let's build a better world together. Let's build a great world for women together. And Women's Day is not just one single day. I feel that every day is a Women's Day because the women are really the inspiration behind every success. So behind every hero, there is a her. That is what I always, tell people. And you really have been doing a commendable work. Keep doing the great work, and let's together grow this world into a beautiful place for all the women and everyone together. Thank you very much for being a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good
Thank you
night.
so much.
Bye.
We'll be in
Thank you,
touch.
Thank
everyone.
you.
you,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you.
Good
Bye.
day.
It was
Pleasure.
great
Bye.
sharing with you. Thank you.
Thank
Hope
Good day.
to
Good
see you
day.
soon,
you.
guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Oh my gosh, so beautiful.